where I submitted it on the day that it was due, you know, don't worry about it, just send it today, Dan. You know, and I already know them by first name basis, because I talked to them so much because of, you know, how many appeals we get in our cases or stuff like that. So, I mean, I know her. She's like, look, don't worry about it, you know, just send it today. Okay. Apologize to the guy, sent it over to the fourth court. So, you know, mistakes happen and they'll catch it. They'll catch it, and eventually the fourth court would have called and said, hey, where's that record? Well, I submitted it. No. Where's your proof? Where's your, what did I just call it? I'm going brain dead. Your, not your certification page, your confirmation page. Where's your confirmation page? It's right here. Well, read it to me. Blah, 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 third court. Oh, shoot. I filed it in the third court. Well, send me a copy of that because they want to know what happened. Okay. And this never happened. They're pretty cool about it or whatever. They understand. I mean, mistakes happen or whatever, so, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Some reporters use pre-punched paper that contains 3 holes for placement between a transparent plastic front cover and a stiff binding, which is what this is, okay? And if you'll see on the inside, you can see the holes right there, okay? No big deal.
Question.
You in the front.
So, if they do ask for a hard copy, this one that we're passing around is over 200 pages.
Yeah.
Does it ever get bigger than that? When do we stop?
Yeah. You can take, usually it's about 40 to 60 pages an hour.
But when would we ever have to put it in a different binding? Like if that thing went to 400 pages, would it still fit in something, or we have to?
No, because they sell different binders. So if you see, you know, this one has, well, and they just, you know, some firms have just the short, regular little things because everything's about 200 pages or so, whatever. So this one is 292 pages, 293 pages. Guys, that's a lot. That's a lot right there, okay? That's a big day, you know? So, you know, you may do 40 pages in an hour, okay? So say you wrote 7 hours. That's 280 pages. Then you add the 4 pages, the title page, appearance page, witness page, and then you have the certificate. That's 4 extra pages. So now you're at, what was that, 280? 280. 7 hours times 40 pages, 280 pages. Now you're at 284 pages, okay? That's pretty close to this. So you may have an hour in there that you did 50 pages an hour. You may have an hour in there that you did 60 pages an hour. Or you may have an hour in there that you did 30 pages an hour. So, you know, they have the different binders. They have the different little clasp or whatever.
So there's not a page that we would have to start a new binder.
I mean, I guess if you know it's late at night or you get to the office and you know it's like I've got this job, it's 293 pages and all you have is, you know, the firm ran out and all you have is the ones like that, then I guess you're going to have to submit it in 2 different binders.
So would you count that as 2 volumes?
No,
Or just-
it's still 1 volume, it's still 1 day. But you guys ran out of binders with the large clasp on it, so yeah. But if you're in court or whatever, you just start calling around, hey man, you have the one with the extra long bindings? I ran out and yeah, I've got some, come on up. No big deal. So it's not 2 different volumes because it didn't fit in the same binder, okay? So it's still 1 volume because it's still the same day, okay? Some transcripts may be several hundred pages in length, and the method of binding will dictate the number of pages that can be bound together to that one transcript. And that's what you were asking? Did you read ahead or what?
No. That really big one we're passing around just made me wonder.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, and that's what they're saying right here. If a transcript requires 2 or more bindings, they are referred to as volumes. Normally, a volume consists of 300 pages of the transcript, although this number may vary among agencies or courts. A good transcript has 3 essential qualities. The transcript should have a professional appearance, use a good paper with the name or name of your court or agency imprinted in it or on it, and a good quality printer or copier, and a professional appearing binding system. The transcript should be neat and clean and should be error-free. All errors discovered after proofreading should have been corrected, and a final proofreading should be revealed absolutely no errors in content or form. The binding method used should be permanent, and the transcript should not come apart when someone reads it or when it is handled by different people. And that's what they're talking about right here. Yeah, you can take it apart, but I mean, you can jiggle this thing, the pages aren't coming out, and that's what they're talking about. It shouldn't be loose and binding, so it shouldn't just, kind of come apart, okay? And that's what they're talking about. Court transcripts. Court transcripts are handled in the same way as a deposition transcript with a few minor differences. Sometimes an attorney on either side of the case may request a partial transcript before the trial has ended. As a trial progresses, attorneys may request excerpted testimony, motions, objected portions, and so on. So you can be in a trial and it's like, you know what, well, we're going to bring this witness in to blah, blah, blah. You know what, Judge? I need to have motions heard on this. I don't want this guy to testify because of whatever. Okay. Or you take one day's trial and the next day they're going to have another witness that comes in that's going to contradict what that witness said the day before. So that attorney comes up to you and says, look, I need the witness, I need the testimony of that witness that testified today. Okay, 50 pages or whatever. All right. Now you're charging a rush because he wants it by tomorrow. So you're going to have to work to get that thing, if it's possible for you to get it done. If it's even possible. And maybe it happened on a Friday. Says, you know what, I need that thing. I need that testimony. Get it to me by Sunday so I can review it because we're going to bring the other witness on Monday. Okay. Well, now I'm going to have to work the weekend. So the price just went up. Because you're having to get a rush job to somebody because they want it done by Monday. Okay, no big deal. So now it's not the trial on the merits. You're in the trial on the merits, but it's not considered the trial on the merits. So when you go to do that transcript, it's not going to read trial on the merits because it wasn't trial on the merits. They just wanted that testimony of that person. You had 8 different witnesses on that day. They just want the testimony of that one person. So now it's excerpted testimony of blah, blah, blah. Okay? So on that title page where you have the cause number, style of the case, now you come to what kind of hearing it was. Well, it wasn't really a hearing. It's excerpted testimony of John Doe. On such and such date, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And that's what they're talking about right here. Court transcripts may be different because you may just do excerpted testimony, motions, or objected portions. Okay? The percentage of trials transcribed in their entirety is less than the percentage of depositions that are transcribed. However, the number of transcripts for trials is increasing as it is evidenced by the increase in the number of cases on appeal. Usually the person most interested in obtaining a copy of the transcript is the losing party, which is true. If you win, what are you going to appeal? Now, sometimes you win, but maybe you don't win what you wanted. Had that happen. You know, where we sat in and this lady was suing HEB because she slipped and fell in HEB. Well, they said, you know what? They said that, you know, it kind of was caused by HEB, but this lady should have known that there was water on the floor, or whatever, a grape on the floor, I can't even remember. And she fell and hurt herself, and, you know, it wasn't extreme, but she hurt herself. So they awarded her $1. Yeah, so they can award you whatever. And the jury awarded her $1. And she was asking for thousands of dollars. And it's like, no, we're gonna appeal that. And they appealed it. I don't remember what happened to it, but, so she won, but she won $1. So, even when you win, sometimes you still lose. So, that's one of the cases. In case of a mistrial, attorneys may order a transcript of the proceedings to better retry the case the next time. And it happens, guys. It happens. I mean, you know, you get to almost the end, and in their closing argument, they say something that they were told not to say throughout the whole trial. They went the whole trial without saying it, and then finally it comes out. You know, well, this guy, you know, has been a pedophile. Well, you know what? They brought a motion that said, absolutely, you're not supposed to talk about it. He's been convicted, but absolutely do not bring it up in this trial. Okay? So in the closing arguments, you know, the state goes through and, you know, and you know, he needs to be convicted because, you know, he had sex with this kid this time, and 10 years ago he was convicted of the same thing. They had just told him not to talk about that. Absolutely don't bring that up. Now you've just caused a mistrial, because now the jury has heard something that wasn't supposed to be heard. So now you just caused a mistrial. Now they have to do it all over again. So a lot of times, you know, the attorneys will come up and say, you know what, we want a copy. We want a copy of all of the proceedings. You know what, I just want each witness on each day. Okay. Or you know what, I just want the testimony of the guy that was convicted. He testified. I just want that testimony. Or I want the testimony of the victim. That's all I want. You know, and maybe she was on there for the whole day. So maybe 150, 200 pages. Okay. So sometimes that's what they're talking about right there. In the case of mistrials, sometimes they'll order just excerpts of different days. You know, maybe it went 4 days. You know, and you were averaging 200 pages a day, maybe 250 pages a day. Times 4, I mean, that's already 1,000 pages. You're at 1,000 pages already. At, you know, $5, $6 a page. Now they're at $6,000. You know, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to pay that much. You know what? We just need the testimony of the one witness, the victim. And it was 150 pages. Times 6, you know, is $900. So now it just went from $6,000 to $900. Well, your work went from here to here, but you're still making pretty good money. We're only doing 150 pages. But would have been nice to do 1,000 pages and get $6,000, but you know, a lot of times they don't want to pay. Okay, a lot of times they don't want to pay, but sometimes, you know, they're like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I don't care. This guy's going to go to prison and we're going to get him. I don't care what it costs. You know, and I've got an okay from my higher ups. Do it. We want the whole thing, 1,000 pages. Okay. Boom, you do it. Let the other side know, hey, look, they ordered a copy. They ordered the original. You want a copy? Yeah. Well, now the $6 just came to $2, but you didn't do any more work. So now you just made 2,000 more bucks, 8,000 bucks for a mistrial. So what happens?
When they only ask for the testimony, how does that change your block files, like your cover pages and all that, your parents' page?
Now it's excerpted testimony. It's the same. Is that what you're asking? What are you asking?
We just wouldn't, I don't know, I feel like there's so much information on those cover pages, but if they just want the testimony, we won't have a lot of that, right?
It'll stay the same. I mean, the cause number doesn't change. The style of the case doesn't change. Only thing that changes is right there in the middle on what kind of a hearing it is. Now it's not trial on the merits. Now it's just an excerpted testimony. So the rest of the thing reads blah, blah, blah in front of Judge blah, blah, blah on such and such date was transcribed and, duly accurate and whatever. So the next page doesn't change because it's the appearance pages. All of the same people are still there. So now you go to the third page where it lists the witnesses. Now you just have one witness. So that's going to change. That's the only thing that's going to change. Is now you're just going to have one witness. And then you have direct, cross, redirect, recross. That's it.
But we won't have like exhibits and all that.
If they marked exhibits for that witness, yes. Yeah. So that will, but if they didn't mark any exhibits, say they marked 99 exhibits in a 4-day trial. But on this witness, they didn't mark any exhibits. You don't have to worry about the exhibits. They didn't mark any exhibits for that witness. But say they marked 99 exhibits for that one witness. Now you have to do all 99 exhibits. So, yeah, it's only what happens in that little excerpt. Okay? The record is most often ordered from an official reporter because an appeal is to be taken or the losing party may feel that the verdict was excessive or contrary to justice. Any request for copies or trial transcripts should be made in writing to the reporter. Always get it in writing, guys. Okay? And one thing that I do, because most of the attorneys are court appointed, is it has to get okayed by my judge. So they'll come and they're always trying to get it because it's free to them. They don't pay anything, the county pays for it. Well, the judge has to watch what our budget is. So he okays or doesn't okay what certain hearings, get done or whatever. And so they have to come with a good reason. So what I always do is I have them say, hey, I need a hearing, I need a copy, bless you. I need a copy of I need a transcript of the hearing that we had the other day. We go to trial in a month. Okay. Well, okay with the judge. Hey, judge, I need a copy. And I'm usually standing right there. And it's usually in court. Hey, judge, I need a copy of that hearing that we did today, because we're getting ready to go to mediation or trial. Yeah, it's okay. All right, well, he said okay. Okay, well, do me a favor. Send me an email. Here's my card. Send me an email with all the information. Style of the case, the date it was taken, what exactly you want, and everything in there. So this way you have it. So they ever come back and say, I didn't order that. It says right here, you got it okayed by the judge? You sent me this email. Oh yeah, I did. Guys, be real careful with that, okay? Because I've had attorneys come back, and I think I told you guys maybe in the beginning of this class that I got burned for $400. $400. $400, and it was 100 pages. Well, when you have to sit there and do it, yeah, the $400 is $400. But he was a friend of my judge, kind of a high dollar attorney, so I just said, you know what, he's good for it. On me, because it was like, And you kind of know after a while who you can trust and who you can't. Okay? I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anyone anymore. After that guy burned me. Okay? When we go out the record, I'll tell you what I told him. But, and I was upset. Not so much about the money, but because he went back on his word. That's what upset me the most. So if I had gotten it in writing, then I would have had something to come back on. But he's like, my clients aren't going to pay for it. So I call the guy and hey man, the thing's ready, come pick it up. I was done with it. Oh, Dave, man, we went to mediation yesterday and we settled the case. We're not gonna need that transcript after all. What? You didn't call me and tell me? Oh, man, I totally forgot. I'm sorry, man. Well, I did it. You told me to do it. I did it. $400. Well, we don't need it anymore. Well, you needed it the other day, and you didn't tell me that you didn't need it now. Well, we're not going to need it. You know what? Let me try to call my clients, but I don't think they're going to want to pay. Well, you know what? Your clients didn't order it. You ordered it. It's on you. Well, we're not going to need it, man. We don't need it. Okay. Well, next time, and what a lot of the reporters do, I don't do it, but what a lot of the reporters do is they'll get half up front. I don't. I get it all. Now, and it's a lot of them, and sometimes you'll get one that's 1,000 pages. Dave, it's $6,000, man. They can come up with 3,000. Okay. 3,000 is better than nothing. So if they come at the end and say, you know what, man, we settled the case. Well, at least you got 3,000, so you got something out of it. You didn't get the other 3,000, but, it is what it is. At least you didn't get burned for the whole $6,000. Okay?
So had you gotten it in writing, who do you take that to fix it?
Yeah, you can get a judgment against them in small claims court. So, it kind of makes them look bad. So what you do is you get another attorney to write them a letter and say, hey, hey, come up with this money or we're going to take you to small claims court. Well, they don't want that on their record. Or you call the state bar and report them, hey, man, this guy sent me for $400. Well, what proof do you have that he even ordered it? Well, he told me. Tell you what. Did he? And he says no. Now it's your word against his. You're not going to be able to prove it. But I got that sheet right here where you sent me. You wanted it. Exactly what you wanted. I got it, But I don't get burned like that anymore because now I get the money up front. Okay? But there's a few attorneys, handful, that I know that they're good. Take it to the bank. They're good. Sometimes I'll do it for them. And it's like, you know what? He's good. And one in particular, and I know him, and he orders a lot of transcripts, and Dave, I'll get it. I don't have my checkbook today. No problem. He's good. There's not very many that I do, but there's a few. So it's just to cover yourself. So that's what they're saying right there. Get it in writing. When the official reporter receives a letter ordering a transcript, some reporters respond with a letter to the attorney ordering or stating that on receipt of the estimated sum, the transcript of